In the wild, unpredictable world of combat sports, there are fighters, there are champions, and then there are legends. But even rarer, there's a fourth category, the myths. These are the athletes who seem to defy logic, who look like they were chiseled from a block of granite by the gods of war themselves. They are the ones who make you question what is humanly possible. And for a generation of fans, no one embodied that mythical status more than Yoel Romero. If you've ever listened to Joe Rogan for more than 10 minutes, you know he's seen it all. He's had a cage-side seat to the evolution of mixed martial arts, watching gladiators rise and fall. Yet, even for a man as seasoned as Rogan, Yoel Romero was different. He wasn't just a great fighter, he was an anomaly, a specimen so physically gifted that Rogan famously dubbed him the freak of all freaks. Think about that for a second. In a sport filled with the planet's most elite athletes, one man stood out as a true force of nature. With an Olympic silver medal in freestyle wrestling and a physique that looked more like a comic book superhero's than a middle-aged man's, Romero was a walking paradox. He could seem almost dormant for minutes at a time, lulling his opponents and the audience into a strange state of calm, only to explode in a terrifying, lightning-fast burst of violence that often ended the fight in a blink. His UFC run was the stuff of legend, the flying knee that sent Chris Weidman crashing to the canvas, the third-round comebacks that became his trademark, the sheer, unadulterated power that left top-tier fighters hesitant to even engage. He was the boogeyman of the middleweight division, a puzzle that no one, not even champions like Robert Whittaker or Israel Adesanya, could truly solve without a grueling 25-minute war. And through it all, he seemed indestructible. He walked through shots that would have felled a lesser man. His chin seemed forged from the same Cuban steel as his muscles. That's why his record is so astounding. We see the losses, sure, controversial, razor-thin decisions that many fans still debate to this day. But look closer. In a long and decorated career against the heaviest hitters in the world, you'll only find one covert loss staining his record. 1. How? How could this seemingly indestructible force, this soldier of God, be knocked out? And who was the man who did it? Was it a legendary champion? A knockout artist feared throughout the sport? The answer is what makes this story so fascinating, so human, and so emblematic of the beautiful chaos of MMA. The man who holds the singular honor of knocking out Yoel Romero was a fighter who, after that monumental win, went on to have a UFC record of just 2 wins and 4 losses. To understand this incredible moment, we have to rewind the clock. Let's go back to September 10, 2011. The MMA landscape was different. The UFC hadn't yet absorbed its fiery rival, Strikeforce. Yoel Romero wasn't the UFC legend we know today. He was a terrifying but raw prospect, a 34-year-old Cuban defector with a phenomenal wrestling pedigree and just 4 professional fights to his name. All 4 were devastating knockout wins. The hype was bubbling. Everyone could see the potential. This guy was special. His 5th professional fight was his big coming-out party on American soil, a debut in Strikeforce. This wasn't a gentle introduction. He was thrown right into the deep end against Rafael Fago Cavalcante. Now, it's crucial to understand who Fago was at that moment. Don't let his subsequent UFC record fool you. In 2011, Cavalcante was an absolute monster. He was the former Strikeforce light heavyweight champion, a feared striker who had just lost his belt to a legend in Dan Henderson. He was hungry, dangerous, and desperate to prove he still belonged at the top. He was the established veteran, and Romero was the hyped newcomer. The fight began, and we saw a glimpse of the Romero we'd come to know and be perplexed by. He was unorthodox, moving in strange, herky-jerky motions. He was patient, a little too patient. The crowd, not yet accustomed to his rhythm, grew restless. The referee even warned him for inactivity. It felt odd. Here was this physical marvel, and he was barely throwing. Was the moment too big for him? Was the veteran's presence intimidating him? Then the second round started, and the soldier of God we were promised seemed to arrive. He came out with a ferocity that was startling, throwing kicks and punches, seamlessly mixing in his world-class wrestling to take Cavalcante down. This was it. This was the explosion we were waiting for. He was taking over the fight. But in MMA, momentum is a fragile, fleeting thing. A fight can turn on a dime. And that's exactly what happened. Cavalcante, a veteran of countless wars, didn't panic. He weathered the storm, got back to his feet, and reset. As Romero pressed forward, Figo unleashed something beautiful.